We're right outside the Ohio State locker room here in the underbelly. Like not in a negative way. It's not like there's a secret thing down here like, oh, underneath Lucas Oil Stadium in the underbelly. It's just like the downstairs part. The field's over there. The locker room's right there. Nathan Baird, Stephen Means, Doug Lesmerises. We just talked to Ryan Day and Paul Christ, and I thought one of the interesting things that Ryan Day said on Friday, the day before the Big Ten championship game, is he was asked about J.K. Dobbins losing out to Jonathan Taylor for the Big Ten Running Back of the Year award and what he thought of that. And whether that might motivate J.K. Dobbins on Saturday night. Ryan Day said, I think, I'm not speaking for J.K., you have to ask him, but I know if it was me, I'd ask, what else do I need to do? I think he deserves to be considered the best running back in the country. That hasn't really necessarily been the case. I know that bothers him. I know he runs with a chip on his shoulder because of that. I know it bothers me. Man, I thought that was pretty interesting for a head coach to go that far with that when it's a direct thing between his guy and the guy who won it on the other team that they're playing the next day. Steven, what'd you think?
I think it is vindicative of how this Ohio State football team has felt all year. They feel slighted. Ryan Day earlier this week talked about how, people just view this as just a talent thing. There's not a lot of coaching and working hard going on, and he looked a little pissed off about that. And now he's a little pissed off about the JK thing. And if Chase Young is not in New York and Justin Fields is not in New York, he's probably going to be a little pissed off about that as well. This is a team that's pissed off, and they want everything. They want all the recognition that they can get. They got the coach of the year, they got the offensive player of the year, and they got the defensive player of the year. But they didn't get the running back of the year, so that's what they're going to focus on, especially now they're playing the guy who did get the running back of the year. So that's this team's kind of motto this year is it just seems like nobody believed in them. And anytime that there's a chance that they can say nobody believed in us, then they're going to take it. And they're just getting an opportunity now on Saturday to prove that, once again, nobody believed in them. We're going to prove everybody wrong.
He just said pissed 4 times. Can we say pissed on the video? Do you know?
I don't know, but I believe he also coined the word vindicative, which I don't think is an actual word. So
I think we'll let it slide. Points taken.
I think it might be a good word to use in this case. Listen. We've talked about this multiple times this season. Jonathan Taylor had 3 consecutive years of being the guy in this offense for a Wisconsin team that won a decent amount of games. His legend is really built consecutively for 3 years in a way that J.K. Dobbins didn't. But now guess what J.K. Dobbins gets to do? Not only does he get to go against him head-to-head one more times, you already tripled him up on yardage once this year. I think he and this offensive line and this defensive line are kind of motivated to go out and establish a similar ratio probably tomorrow in this championship game. And then he potentially gets to go play 2 more times and potentially gets to win a national championship. And that's what they can kind of – maybe it doesn't come with the trophies that other guys get, but at the end of the day, they get to kind of look back on that someday and say – and hold that up and say, hey, here's what we actually won. Maybe we didn't get these popularity awards that are sometimes based on BS and not a real statistical analysis and real nuance. Maybe they are just, again, more just like a beauty pageant we've talked about before, or just based on reputation. They get to go out and have something maybe more tangible, more lasting at the end of the day.
Stephen, what you were talking about with maybe them feeling like, hey, we're not getting respect, do you think they really feel that, or are they just searching for ways to motivate themselves when they're 12-0?
I think at the beginning of the year they were, and they liked it, and it's worked for them. So yeah, at this point they're looking for small things to go, see, you guys still don't believe in us. Even though they're the number 1 team in the country right now with the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense, when you have that kind of underdog thing going on, you want to keep building on it because it's how you've been having success.
It's so fake. Dabo Swinney's down at Clemson being like, nobody believes in us either.
But you can go individually, individual players or position unit by position unit and find a reason why that unit, maybe except for defensive ends, but find a reason why that unit had reason to have a chip on its shoulder coming into the season. And I think as much as so many of those units have proven themselves this year, they also remember what that was like, and they still don't want to be the reason why this team doesn't go as far as it can possibly go at this point.
If there is any nobody believes in us stuff, that's fake. I mean, the whole world believes in them. Everybody thinks they're the best team in the country. But I like the Dobbins stuff because that is an actual discussion, and I think Ryan Day was actually, I'll say, ticked. I really think he was. I thought that was real. Sometimes this is coach speak this kind of year. You're searching for a way for your super talented, undefeated team to not lose their edge. But the Dobbins thing, the way he talked about it today, I thought he really thinks to himself, we have the best guy, and nobody votes for him. Stephen, Nathan, Doug, it's Friday right now. Tomorrow's the Big Ten championship game. We'll have a ton of coverage. Sunday, the playoff announcement, and then after that, the playoff. Try the texts, read our stories, cleveland.com/OSU.